What's up, everybody? This is the Sports League Podcast. Back for another week. I'm your host, Alex Leak. We got John Abraham, All Pro Abe, back on the show. Great to have you on, man.
Always, man. Good to be here. Good to talk. Definitely trying something new with the draft situation. I'm not really big on college stuff, but I do need to learn as much as I can so I can widen my horizon on football more. Even though I play, a lot of us don't know as much as we act like we do.
Yeah, and every off season, it's a process of learning the draft class, learning the new players, and I've had to do it too, like going through and just trying to familiarize myself with all these players. But yeah, it's great to have you on, and it's gonna be fun. This is gonna be my mock draft 3.0 for the 2026 season. And like I've said all along, it's not a really strong quarterback class, but it's deep almost everywhere else. And so we'll get into this as we go. But let's just get started on it. And it starts with the Vegas Raiders. They got the number one pick, Fernando Mendoza. This is the easiest pick in the draft. There's no going around this. Everyone knows who the Raiders are taking. Um, when you look at Fernando Mendoza, I'm sure you watched some of the playoffs, the national championship game. He seemed to play his best in the clutch, in the biggest moments when the team needed him the most. He doesn't have he's not super athletic. He doesn't have a super strong arm, but seems to have just enough to get it done, and he seems to rise to the occasion. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think the big thing is I got to meet him actually this past Saturday when I received
Yeah.
my Herschel Walker Award. Um, Talking to the guy, man, he just seems like a pro, man. He seems like a young Tom Brady, and I'm not saying that in the way it's like, oh yeah, he's gonna be Tom Brady-ish. I'm saying that like just just the humbleness he has. He just won a Heisman. It's like I'm telling him, like, man, everybody want to see you. He's like, he literally came up to me and asked me. He was like, man, you got any advice for me as a pro? And I was like, wow. I'm like, dude, you like you know how high you are because you used to seeing so many of these players just be so arrogant and thinking they can't speak to people and get me out of here. Very humble guy, very like family oriented. I had a great time, just getting to see him and getting to know him in that little short time I got to meet him. I think that's what is going to take him to a different level. I think he's going to be a hard worker just because how he handled himself around me. Just seeing how he talked, it wasn't like I'm a football player. It's like I'm a person. I'm trying to learn how to be great. I want to learn stuff. I want to be on the outside of it. Gentry,
Yeah. Ashton
your guy
Jeffrey.
last year, Gentry was your guy last year that you really wanted for some other team, but he ended up being with this guy Fernando. So let's see how that works. If they can get the running game, they can get them a solid O line with these guys. I think they got a lot going on. They have a lot going on. But he's definitely the first pick, and he definitely deserves to be. I'm just watching him in the national championship game, how he handled himself, leaving one school, going to another school, and just like we kicking butt.
No, congratulations on that Herschel Walker, the first ever Herschel Walker Award winner. That's awesome. And shout out, you got me this shirt. There's the Sam Darnold for all the trash talk that I was doing about Sam
Yeah,
Darnold.
yeah, buddy.
And to that point, Clint Kubiak, who was Sam Darnold's offensive coordinator, is now going to be Fernando Mendoza's head coach with the Raiders. And he got the most out of Darnold that we've ever seen. So that's another good sign for Mendoza here. I think he's going to the right spot. I never would have thought Indiana was going to go undefeated, 16-0, and win the national championship. So any quarterback that's able to do that gets a lot of praise.
The last part of his career and the first part of his career. Let's see if they're the same or not. We'll find out whether he's going to be that kind of player that he was in Seattle. But your guy on your T-shirt went to Seattle and won a championship. He won a little something. He won a little bit while he was there under Pete Carroll. But now let's see if he's really that guy. Let's see if he's really mature. Let's see if the Raiders were really that bad. But for right now, like going to the Jets, I love Aaron Glenn. I guess there are no extremely great other quarterbacks that coming out. Since a lot of guys decided to stay this year, it's very
Yeah.
surprising these guys got an opportunity. But that just show you like they're getting them good checks in college. Like I
Yeah.
don't got to rush. I'm getting a good 4-5 million now, and if you're 22 years old and you can get a check like that, like why rush? And I just recently talked to a couple of guys from South Carolina. I'm kind of mentoring them, and I can tell like the urgency to go to the NFL is nothing like it was when I was in the league. When I was in college or when I wanted to get to the league, people wanted to leave their junior year. They was ready to go. Nobody wanted to stay 4 years. Now it's like these guys are developing a little more, like even though they're coming out early still, but they don't have to rush at all.
Yeah, and I think that's good for the league. The more development you get, the better off it is. Um, what do you think? So everyone talks about the center quarterback relationship, and the Raiders spent a ton of money on Tyler Linderbaum. 3 years, 81 mil, reset the center contract pretty much, reset the center money. Do you think that's a good deal for the Raiders? Kind of overpaying, but you think it's worth it with a young rookie franchise quarterback coming in, right?
Yeah, I think it's definitely something they need to do solidify. Having the center, trying to find you a Kelsey, trying to find you a Kevin Mawai type center that I had back in the past. Dahlman just retired. So it's showing y'all how important these centers are, but also you got to really be locked in to be a good center. You want to make sure that center can control that line of scrimmage. Like I said, I think Kelsey and guys like Kevin Mawai have really solidified that center is really the kind of like the most important position compared to the quarterback because he got to get it to that quarterback every time. And I think paying him that kind of money shows, first of all, it shows your quarterback that you're about to pick that, look, we're locked in. Y'all going to be together for years. Y'all
Yeah.
going to be, we want y'all to have the best chemistry out here. And hopefully that can transition into him becoming a great quarterback. But he's going to have to go through his ups and downs. He's going to have to go through getting hit. He's going to have to go through take hit on the chin. He's going to have to go through all that stuff. But that's the new league, man.
So that's the Raiders pick. That's an easy one. Fernando Mendoza, #1 overall. Now we get to the Jets at #2, and this is interesting. It's gone back and forth. Some people were starting to take David Bailey here, just because of his pure pass rushing numbers. I think he like led college football in sacks and just getting after it. But I'm going Arvell Reese here, and it's because of it's the new trend, the Micah Parsons type build, where you're an off-ball linebacker, but you've got the versatility and the skill set to also rush the passer, even up the middle or from the edge. And we saw it with Micah Parsons how valuable he is. We saw it with Abdul Carter coming out for the Giants. And now Arvell Reese is in that same mold. And I think he's going to end up being a pass rusher, but he's just so versatile and so skilled. Do you like that new type of player, the Micah Parsons type of player, you know?
No, I definitely like that type of player, but I was kind of more on Styles. But I haven't watched a lot of Reese, but I'm definitely going to do more on it now. He's a guy from Cleveland, Ohio, so he's going to be a tough-minded guy. Like, and I guess if they see that in him, they can make it, I guess, happen for him. Uh, the pass rushing is something that people don't understand. That a lot of people think it's just a natural thing, but when you get to the league, you got to really work on it. You got to change your game sometimes. So if he's able to change his game and able to be good with his hands, being able to have more than one move, even though there's way less double team and chip blocks than when I had in the past, he should be able to block it. But and maybe if McDonald steps his game up a little more. But I'm thinking McDonald's going to have a better year this year. He's not saying he had a bad year at all, but I'm saying I think he's going to have a tremendous year too. So bringing a rookie in to kind of match him would be a good look. They got rid of old boy Johnson, so
yeah,
it is what it is, man. So they bringing him in, and they saying linebacker, but like you said, it's more like he's going to be a pass rusher. And they have the more edge type now. They call it edge. They really call them LBs now. So let's see where they put him at, man. He's definitely got a lot of people coming that should be. I mean, even with Fitzpatrick coming in, that should help the DBs out a lot just because of his experience. But if they can play good together, man, Demario Davis can talk to him. If old boy is able to coach these guys up, if you can get a young guy, especially your first year, all you kind of me personally, if I got a young guy, I just want him to get off the ball. I want him to get off the ball and feel comfortable with rushing the passer. I don't really care if you learn all the plays your first year. I want you to be comfortable, and I want to see what you can do naturally. So once I see what you can do naturally, I can put you in the right frame. I can put you in the right place. I can see if I waste my money on the second pick overall. And the Jets have not been the greatest probably since, like, Darrelle Reeves was a lock. You got Manigault, but in the top five, I don't know if they've really been hitting these home runs, top five, top 10. I don't know if they've been hitting the home runs like they wanted to in the last few years besides that.
Yeah. Yeah, so hopefully it works out. But I like this pick. I like this player. And the Jets have spent a lot of money and made a lot of moves this offseason on defense. Trading, they bring in Tavondre Sweat. They bring in David Onyemata. They trade for Minkah Fitzpatrick. They bring in also pass rushers Joseph Asai and Kingsley Enagbare. So they got some depth as well. And I like Aaron Glenn. So I hope that they can have a much better year, especially on defense, and start getting that thing, because that's what you expect from an Aaron Glenn team, at least, is for the defense to be dominant. So I hope that they can get that going. I like that they made a lot of moves on defense. So, yeah, we'll see what the Jets do in 2026. Going to the Cardinals, they released Kyler Murray. So it's a new era in Arizona. A lot of people had them going David Bailey here. I'm going right tackle Francis Mawanoa, or CC Mawanoa from Miami. He was an excellent right tackle. He can play guard if you need him to. Big, physical, strong, athletic. What do you think about Kyler Murray? I mean, he's gone, so now the Cardinals are kind of in limbo at the quarterback position. Maybe Jacoby Brissett. Who knows? They might, try to draft like Ty Simpson in the second round. That could be an option. But the Cardinals are really trending towards a little bit of a rebuild here, don't you think?
Yeah, they don't have a choice now. Once you got rid of, I mean, everybody was kind of skeptical on the big signing when he signed that big deal a few years ago. We felt
Yeah.
like he played well enough, but it's kind of like they were stuck between a rock and a hard place. Like, we can't trade him, we can't really get rid of him. Let's just sign him and give him a couple more years. And then last year, we just kind of knew it was done.
So, yeah, that's the pick for the Cardinals. And I'm excited about this one. Real quick, did you see the Titans' new uniforms and helmets?
Yeah, yeah, they cool.
It's like the Tennessee Oilers.
Yeah, they no, that's cool. It's kind of like, it always take me, like, I've never really seen the first time I see an outfit, they have to grow on me because I'm like, yeah, it's all right. You know what I mean?
We'll go to pick 4 here, the Tennessee Titans, and this is a really high prospect. This is a really good running back, Jeremiah Love out of Notre Dame. And they're saying that he'll be the first top 5 pick since Saquon Barkley. They're comparing him. They said if he was in the draft last year, he would have gone ahead of Ashton Genty. They compare him to Bijan Robinson. Well, he had a 4.36 40, which is the same as Jahmyr Gibbs, who we know is a burner. He's a touchdown machine. 18 rushing touchdowns last year at Notre Dame. He broke Jerome Bettis' total touchdown record. Won the Doak Walker Award, Heisman finalist. This guy, whether he lives up to it or not, is getting a ton of love, and he's going to go top 5, and I got him going 4 here, the Titans. But you can go ahead, tell me what you think here.
I got to see it. I think he's a great he was a great college player, and it's just tough for a running back to tell if they're going to be great or not. Like, even with Ashton Genty last year, we thought that he was going to come off and just break 2,000 yards as a rookie, and we saw what we got. So I don't know, man. For me, and I'm not trying to knock the guy. I mean,
Yeah, and I like the new regime. Head coach Robert Saleh, offensive coordinator Brian Daboll. And Daboll's had success developing quarterbacks. And so Cam Ward, I'm excited for Cam Ward, Jeremiah Love. They bring in Wan'Dale Robinson at wide receiver, who had like 90 catches last year. So I like what the Titans are doing. They're trending in the right direction. For the Giants here at 5, I really wanted to go Carnell Tate at wide receiver. I thought if you team him up with Malik Nabers, you've got a Jamar Chase, T. Higgins type of attack, a 1-2, and that could be really beneficial for Jackson Dart. But at the end of the day, Sonny Styles is too good to not go top 5. And that's where I got him going. Sonny Styles is absolutely ridiculous. A former safety turned linebacker who can do it all. I mean, his combine numbers were insane. He's a bigger, faster, stronger Kyle Hamilton, the Ravens safety. I mean, it is crazy his numbers. Um, so I'm really excited about Sonny Styles coming into New York. He's going to be, they got Tremaine Edmonds from Chicago. What do you think? I mean, do you think those type of combine numbers will translate and show itself on the field?
He reminds me a lot of an old guy that I like. You won't know his name because I know
I
you're a
might.
little bit new to me, but
I'm a historian.
Raynoch Thomas. He reminds me of Raynoch Thompson. Raynoch
Okay.
Thomas. Raynoch Thompson. Yeah, Raynoch Thompson from Tennessee back in the day. Raynoch was a long, wiry guy, super fast. He had him at safety, moving to linebacker. And the linebacker position in the NFL is a little different from the linebacker position when you come to college. But I
Yeah.
saw film on him, and I saw that he likes to hit. He's a major come up hit guy. So if they can get him with all the physical attributes, if they can get him mentally in that body frame as being a true middle linebacker, he'd probably be the best one ever. I can see him being a will linebacker though, or something besides a middle because of his speed. Like, not saying that he can't be a middle linebacker because of speed, because he definitely has the size also. But I would want that guy everywhere around the field. Like, he's almost like a Hamilton, because everybody thinking Hamilton should move down to linebacker now, even though he's playing safety. But I can see the
Yeah.
same. I can see the same kind of refrain from him. He should be able to cover every tight end in the league. So me having him at middle linebacker, I'm not sure. Maybe if I can move him to like a will and let him run with the tight ends, or man him up with tight ends, or even have him covering like a couple of receivers out here that's pretty slow these days. But he can play pretty much the whole side of the field. Like, even, and that's the kind of guys you want. Well, from his numbers put up, we think he can play, whatever position you want him to play.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting. We'll see if he can live up to that. But um, yeah, I like the player. I'm excited to see what he does. And you got an elite defensive line in front of you with Dexter Lawrence and Abdul Carter, all those dudes on that D line. And now you bring in a linebacker like him. I like it a lot. Um, you could go Carnell Tate here. You could go safety Caleb Downs here. I like also that he was at Ohio State and Matt Patricia, who's an NFL defensive coordinator, coached him and kind of got him ready for the pros. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I like that a lot. I like what the Giants are doing. John Harbaugh is the new head coach there. New offensive coordinator Matt Nagy. I don't know, but John Harbaugh. I think the Giants are in good hands.
Well, we will see, man. I mean, just being in New York, it's a little different because you got to make sure your players don't stay in New York like that. You know what I mean? Because it's kind
Yeah.
of tough to catch. Like, one thing about Styles, they say he matured. He graduated high school pretty early, so I think he was 17 when he graduated. So he might be a little mature than we think. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Going to the Cleveland Browns here, and they did a lot in free agency. They signed Elton Jenkins, a center, Zion Johnson, a guard. They re-signed Tevin Jenkins, a guard. They trade for Titus Howard, uh, and he can be like a right tackle. So they pretty much solidified the offensive line except for one spot, left tackle. So I went with the best left tackle in this draft. Some might consider it a little bit of a reach at pick number 6, but I went Monroe Freeling out of Georgia, the best left tackle in the draft, and I think that it solidifies their offensive line and gives whoever is at quarterback next year the best chance to succeed, whether that's Deshaun Watson, Shedeur Sanders, Dylan Gabriel, whoever it is. But they got a nice young core with Quinshot Judkins, Harold Fannin, and so I like giving them a stud left tackle.
Yeah, I mean, he has great footwork. Hey, he's from Charleston, South Carolina. Got to represent, bro. You don't understand South Carolina everywhere, bro. He's from the Low Country, and then like he was a number one player in South Carolina coming out of high school.
You could easily go wide receiver Carnell Tate here. That's a need for the Browns, but they've got 2 first-round picks, and I feel like you get the best tackle here early. You can get a wide receiver later in the first round. So I like that for them. For the Commanders, it's pass rush, for me. And David Bailey, he's still on the board. That's an easy no-brainer. David Bailey here, the Commanders at pick number 7. Um, they Von Miller is a free agent. He's talking about wanting to go play for the Broncos and try to win a championship on the way out. They did sign Odafa Owe and Caleb Chase on, but to me, none of them are stopping me from drafting David Bailey. Bailey with 14 and a half sacks last year. He's just a sack machine. And something the Commanders and head coach Dan Quinn need desperately is that pass rusher.
It's like all on looking alike to me, kind of from college, 6'4", 250. I'm just jealous because when I got to school, I had to be like 250, 260. And I'm looking like these guys coming here 240, looking sleek, looking
Yeah.
pretty good. I mean, he's a California guy. He went to Modern Day High School, which is a championship type high school. We've seen that program for years, just being extremely well. So those guys, it's just like it's crazy because some guys we want to be great in the NFL, but you like the last draft with Mike Green, I thought he was going to really come off and have a great year in Baltimore
Yeah.
this year.
Same.
So a lot of these guys I'm kind of iffy about to see, like, are they going to jump in quick like Michael Parsons type player? Or are they going to come even with James Pierce Jr. having 10 sacks last year? I was surprised, but they're throwing the ball so much now. They're holding the ball. They're not getting chipped, like I said, and putting them in. So if Washington can have that kind of defense, if you want to get a guy like that, you said Vaughn's trying to go someplace else, like just make it freaky for him, man. Flip it around, change it around, like give them all kind of looks. Make sure they're getting in the backfield. Even if they ain't getting to the quarterback, they're stopping the run. But you got to have that confidence in them young players if you really want to get to the ball. You got to kind of create it. Just like a quarterback, they need certain players. You got to do the same thing for pass rushers too.
Yeah, they say he's got no swag. They say he doesn't wear no sleeves, no wristbands, nothing. He's just jersey and bare arms, but he's a worker. He produces. You know what I mean?
That's all you need. It don't matter right there. As long as them checks, long as they said, as long as them checks cash, that's all that matters.
Yep, 100%. So we get to the Saints here at pick number 8, and this is where I'm going wide receiver Carnell Tate out of Ohio State. I think this is a need for the Saints. They've got Chris Olave, Devon Bailey, but you saw a spark you saw some highlights out of Tyler Shuck, and you want to keep that going in the right direction. Not many people, especially me, didn't think that Tyler Shuck was going to be any good in the pros, but you saw some reason to be optimistic. So get him a solid receiver. This is a guy who he doesn't need to be a number 1 wide receiver. He's going to fit in where he fits in. He had Jeremiah Smith next to him at Ohio State and still produce. So is the type of guy you want on your team. The Saints signed Travis Etienne, so they got a decent running back over there as well. Alvin Kamara is probably gone. They signed David Edwards, Noah Fant.
He has good size, good range. The Saints, if they're going to be good, they're going to have to use ETN. I just like, what are they going to do with Kamara? Is Kamara going to be? Are they just going to okay, Kamara? I don't see why they don't move him to like a slot receiver or something, because he's not a good running back, but he never had 1,000 yards, as we said last year, and didn't even get close this year. So, like, what are we going to do with him? Like, you want him on the field, like, let him return kicks, let him do certain things like that. But I think Tate could be a good position for them.
I agree, and I'm not sold on Tyler Shuck either. This gives him the best chance to be successful, but I still gotta see it. I'm not blindly buying the hype on him. I gotta see it for a full season. He's gonna go into 2026 as a starter. We'll see how he performs. So, still a lot of questions for the Saints, but we'll see how they handle it. For the Chiefs here at 9, I've gone back and forth. I was going Mansour Delane, the corner here, forever. You trade away Trent McDuffie to the Rams. You lose Jalen Watson to the Rams, both corners. Corner is definitely a need here. But the fact that Ruben Bain, the defensive end out of Miami, fell to 9 makes it a no-brainer, in my opinion, for Kansas City. You put him on that D-line with Chris Jones and George Karlaftis. Um, I think the Chiefs fans would be ecstatic about adding Ruben Bain to that defensive line. What do you think?
I don't like him as a primary pass rusher. 6'3",
Okay.
275 is not what you want in a prototype defensive end these days. If you're in a 3-4, I guess you can have him, but they got him listed as an edge. If you got him listed as an edge, I don't. And I watched him, and he can move, but I'm looking for the sleek guys. You know what I mean? And this is a heavy draft with ends or with edges, as they say. So I
Yeah.
wouldn't I wouldn't necessarily say he's not a good pick, but that's like getting another Chris Jones in my eyes. Like,
Yeah.
and I don't feel like they need another Chris Jones at the moment. I think they need like literally like let's go way back to Derek Thomas. You need a nice 250 guy, 245 guy that can get around the edge. You can have Chris Jones pushing the other side, but I don't feel like he would be the greatest. Now he can totally come in, and because if you're 6'3", 275 right now, all I see you being is like 290 in like a year or two. It's just like I was in the league. I know, man. Like it's just like, and I seen him, and he got coached by Jason Taylor, so he definitely got you know
Yeah.
he got a little edge, but not saying I didn't like him but calling him an edge, I was like he's an end to me. 275 is not an edge to me. I'm sorry.
And we'll see if Steve Spagnuolo, the defensive coordinator, the Spags can get the most out of him. Like I said, corner is a big need. They do have 2 first-round picks with that trade with McDuffie, so they can go get a corner later in the draft. But for here, I'm going Ruben Bain. The Bengals at 10 is an easy pick. He's still available. Safety Caleb Downs. In my opinion, the Bengals defense hasn't been the same since Jesse Bates left, and they need that safety to get them to the next level. This defense has been so bad lately. Um, so bring in a Caleb Downs. He's a ball hawk that's also physical. You lost Geno Stone, so he's a replacement there in Al Golden's defense. They signed, Jonathan Allen, Boye Mafe, Brian Cook, and they lost Trey Hendrickson to the Ravens. So this defense is kind of in transition a little bit here, and we're hoping that Caleb Downs can bring stability and be a leader on that defense in the safety position.
But most of the guys from State gonna have so many guys go this year is
Oh my
ridiculous.
goodness.
But him being on that team and being people don't understand how blessing it is to be on a squad that has a lot of picks because you gonna get challenged every day. You see
Yeah.
your like it's not like you don't want to see your homeboy do good, but when it's like we did everything together. Now they're going before me. It gets so much competition, man. Like people don't understand like that competition. Even me in life now, I'm 47 years old, and I still be looking at Sean Ellis like, man, what are you doing good? Coles became a cop, so I'm mad at that. I'm like, oh man, he's so cool. He's a cop. Like, how am I beat being a cop? I don't want to be a cop. Like, I can't beat him on that. So it's just like, even looking now, it's just a competition, and them having that is going to mean a lot, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. It's going to be fun, and hopefully this Bengals defense can get improving. They've been so bad the last couple of years, and I know Al Golden wants to turn this thing around. So hopefully Caleb Downs can bring some stability there. Um, Dolphins, I've been going corner. I've been going Jermon McCoy for the longest time, but now Mansour Delane falls to their lap. He's the best corner in this draft. Mansour Delane to the Dolphins at pick number 11, and they need it desperately, bro. They don't have anybody. This team is so depleted. This roster has very little talent on it. He's gonna immediately be the best corner on this team. You got Storm Duck, Daryl Baker, Alex Austin, Marco Wilson. I mean, how many of those names do we know? You know what I mean? Like Mansour Delane's the guy, and I think this is the Dolphins have so many needs, but this is definitely one of the biggest. Let's go pick number 12, the Dallas Cowboys. And corners a need. They brought in a DB coach to be their defensive coordinator and Christian Parker. So they add Jermod McCoy out of Tennessee, the corner. They team him up with Deron Bland and Savon Ravel. Trayvon Diggs didn't work out the way they wanted him to, so this is kind of his replacement. Um, they did sign your guy Kobe Durant,
Right.
so that's something on the secondary. They got safeties Jalen Thompson and PJ Locke. They traded for Rashawn Gary. So the Cowboys are making a lot of moves on defense, and in the draft, I got them going corner as well. Do you think this would help turn the defense around for the Cowboys?
I don't know what the Cowboys need exactly, man, but I feel like I'm trying to say this in a nice way. I don't think so. You saying he missed? Didn't he miss last year with a ACL, right?
Yes. Yep.
And then they're gonna
But
pick him at 12.
yeah, there. As long as he's healthy and good to go, he's supposed to be worthy of going this high. But you know,
Okay. Well, talk a little more about. I didn't see him this year. I don't know. Like you saying, he went 12. So I'm looking like, hey, bro, I don't. He missed with an ACL and still going 12. He must be a beast. I'm like, dude, like,
they're saying if he was healthy in 2025, Tennessee would have been for real because they also had Colton Hood. So they would have had two elite corners, both first round talents. But yeah, he missed the entire season with a torn ACL. I don't know a ton about him, but they're saying he's good to go. So we'll see. But,
yeah,
you know,
injuries don't really stop people. Like I said, I had to see him last year, and I don't know anything about him the year
yeah,
before. The saying they just need cornerback is an understatement. I would love to see their like every team we're looking at now. I'm looking like, are they gonna get an edge? And because they
yeah.
got rid of Micah, so and it's gonna be hard to replace Micah, but can they swing the home run and find somebody in the first round at 12 besides a cornerback? Because they need an end. They need somebody that can rush the passer, man. Like they did not replace him. Like people was talking about them maybe getting Max Crosby or trying that out, or getting. They didn't even try for Hendrickson. So so I don't even know what's going on with them. But if I was them, I would try to find a pass rusher that I can solidify on. Even like maybe I know they got two good receivers, but I would be thinking about trying to draft somebody high. Also, give Dak like three awesome, like ridiculous receivers, and just like whatever happens on defense happens on defense. We scoring 40, 50 points a game.
Well, so they do have two first round picks. They have number 12 and number 20. So at number 12, they're going to go corner here. They can get something else at 20. They did trade for Rashawn Gary, but I don't know how much that moves the needle for you. He's kind of been underachieving over there in Green Bay.
Well, I talked about this earlier. He came off to a great start when he had pressure on his back when Michael was
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Then it just fell off. Like what is like this first 8 games, seven and a half, 8 sacks.
Nothing after.
Then the rest of the season just didn't even get close after Michael got out of the game, and
Yeah.
people had to worry about him, or he had to pass rush like he did last year. He ended up being just an average player at most, at best, average player at the end of the year. So it's
Yeah.
tough, man. You want to say that these guys aren't this or aren't that, but and I mean 7.5 sacks is not a bad year at all. But saying that was in the first 7, 8 games,
Yeah,
and
I
then
know.
you have nothing else the next 10 games. That's the only problem. And not saying he hasn't been consistent. He's been consistently like this, so it's not like it's something surprising. But if I was them, I still would try to find me another pass rusher. I know you say they got 2 picks, but my next initiative would be trying to find me somebody young just to put out there and run around with like a chicken with their head cut off.
We'll see if I help you out, if I get us an edge here. Pick number 20. Let's go the Rams at pick 13, and I love this pick. And just FYI, you got Puka Nakua, you got Devontae Adams. That's not enough. Give me another receiver. Let's go Makai Lemon out of USC to the Rams. That is a loaded offense right there. Makai Lemon is he's like a slot. He's underneath. He gets open. He's a great route runner. He's got excellent hands. He can make people miss after he catches the ball. He's a yak guy. I think he fits this offense really well. 5'11", 195. Devontae is getting older. He's 33 years old. He's got maybe another season in him, you know. And it's not like they have a lot besides Puka and Devontae. Outside of that, you got sixth and seventh round picks. So bring in Makai Lemon. His NFL comp, they compare him to Amon-Ra St. Brown. So I don't know if he's going to be quite that good, but that's a lot of potential there, you know?
Yeah, there's a lot of balls going around there, so we don't think he's going to be that, like especially not in
Yeah,
the
right.
first year. First year,
Yeah.
you're going to be the third receiver at best. So if you get in there and get a couple balls, that's what you're going to have to do. But you're definitely going to being behind or even playing with those two guys. You're definitely going to be able to create a receiver that can be a good receiver.
Yeah.
And then also, we don't know how long Matthew Stafford is going to be there, so
Yeah.
you kind of want to shoot the wide now. How close they got last year, compared to almost beating Seattle and everything. In the end of the game, the beginning of the game was not really good, but at the end of the game, they really came back and almost made a game out of it. If they had the extra receiver, like you said, if they have somebody to go away from or somebody to do something special or just like be that third guy, maybe move to two and Puka moves here. We don't know if Devontae is going to be the same Devontae this year. The year changes so much in sports that it's ridiculous. So why not go ahead and go all out like you said?
Yeah, and so one of the biggest weaknesses last year was corner. And they go and they trade with the Chiefs for Trent McDuffie, and they also signed Jalen Watson. So they take both the Chiefs corners. I think that's great for the Rams. They're filling a hole, and then they're getting better on offense. I love what the Rams are doing. I think they're going all in this year. I think they're going to be a favorite going into 2026 to go to the Super Bowl. So,
A smart move.
yeah. All right, let's go Ravens. And Ravens is an interesting spot here because they need a guard. They could definitely go guard, and there's an excellent guy here available, and that's Vega Ione from Penn State, who's the best guard, the best interior O lineman. He's an absolute monster. The Ravens would love him here, but I'm going defensive tackle, and I can't let this guy fall. I'm a big fan of Peter Woods out of Clemson. Big defensive tackle. And I just think he's going to improve that defense. They did get Trey Hendrickson. Now you bring in Peter Woods. They needed a defensive tackle. Um, they got, new head coach Jesse Minter as a defensive guy who was a Chargers defensive coordinator, coached under Jim Harbaugh. Um, what do you think, new defensive coordinator Anthony Weaver? What do you think of adding someone like a Peter Woods here?
Well, I like it because you had the Hendersons, and so you do want to get somebody that can get push up the middle. Got a young guy that can actually play off him. The best thing I ever had when I had a young Calais Campbell, because I can tell
Yeah,
Calais what to do. I can just like look, just rush up the field. All right, all right, all right. So you have a young guy that can pretty much. I'm the pass rusher now because I'm old, and you're the guy that got to create stuff for me. So if you can have a young guy to create lanes for you and you go in and out and you can learn how to do games. Like not saying that you using the person, but you're kind of using the person. So he can use them like, you're doing this and automatically because they're straight, okay, I got you, bro. I'll do it, the little seniority stuff. So if you got younger guys, you can tell the younger guy, hey, you go opposite of me, or you come with me, you're traveling with me. So having that guy in Hendrickson that has proven himself as a good pass rusher, to get a younger guy that he can actually even the younger guy can learn from him, how to prepare, how to study, how to do it, etc. Even with Green being there too, Mike Green being there also, you have that line that I think Mike Green's gonna have a better year now since Henderson there. He's gonna have to if
yeah,
he's gonna continue to, have a great career. And seeing somebody coming in with $100 million deal, and I'm a young guy, my second year in the league, I'm trying to get off now. And then you bring another young guy, like you said, from a good school like Clemson, even though they're my rivals, it's a good football school at the moment. Having him there with those guys to learn with would actually work pretty well.
yeah, and that's teamwork, right? Using each other to help each other. That's teamwork. Yeah. Maybe the guy that helps you get a sack, maybe he should get half a sack for like an assist.
No, shut up. This ain't hockey. This ain't hockey.
All right, the Tampa Bay Bucks, pick number 15. They need edge. And to me, I'm going Where are we at here? Tampa Bay Bucks, pick 15. I'm going Akeem Mesidor out of Miami. He was opposite Ruben Bain, and he actually had more sacks than Ruben Bain. He led the Hurricanes with 12 and a half sacks. He is older. He's 25 years old coming out of the draft. Um, would that concern you, the age, an older age coming out? But he's productive, and I think you don't need to wait for him to develop. He's like ready made. He's NFL ready right now, you know?
Yeah, I would love to do a statistic on a player coming out that age and see how they are. 'Cause back in the day, it was more like you're only going to get like maybe 5 or 6 years out of the guy because they're 25, 26. You might only play, you know, a 22-year-old, you think you might can skim 10 years. So I wonder what the statistics are now. Like a 25-year-old guy, can he play 10 years? Like at
Yeah.
35? Like, you know, because he's 25 now, so you got 35. So can he play like 10 years? Is he worth that kind of pick to only play for 5 to 8 years? Is it worth it to pick him that high? Like you thinking he might play to 33, 34, 35? You know what I mean? Because at 35, I'm not saying you still can't be good. I played I was 36. But, you know, if you rationalize like that, is he worth a first round pick for a 25-year-old player? If you're only going to like, even if he's great, you might only get like 8, 9 solid years. And I know that sounds
Yeah.
bad, but 8, 9 solid years is awesome. I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, that's the talking point is just his age, but the production is there and he seems like he's going to hit the ground running. So I think that's a good move for Tampa Bay. We go to the Jets here. So this is their second pick. They took Arvell Reese, number 2 overall, who's a linebacker, but he's more of an edge rusher. So they need, they got a lot of needs on this roster. You got Garrett Wilson coming off an injury. You've got, uh, A.D. Mitchell, who, you need to add to that receiving core. I'm going to go Jordan Tyson. And he's arguably the best receiver in this draft class. It's just he's had injuries. He's been hurt decent amount the last couple of years. So that's the big knock on him here. He only played, and Garrett Wilson's coming off an injury, but it's a need for the Jets. What do you think of taking Jordan Tyson here at 16?
I would switch your 17 and your 16 pick. I would say a left tackle would probably be better for the Jets at the moment. You know,
Okay.
I think they need to shuffle the line around a little bit. I think they need to find another and Proctor coming from Alabama. It's just when
Yeah.
you say Alabama, you know, you think of that, oh, man, we got an Alabama tackle here. And I think a receiver would work better with the Lions. And I think the Jets, you know, solidifying another offensive lineman because that's their need. Because you're saying on defense, they got a guy high, but now getting another offensive lineman, because I think those are the two main needs. Getting another receiver now with Geno Smith, I wouldn't be like, that wouldn't be my biggest, you know, like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, let me get another receiver for make Geno. Like Geno, you just here for like a couple years, maybe at most. We just trying to plug a hole with somebody cheap right now, and then we're gonna like go get our real quarterback. You know, I can't see Geno Smith. I can see Geno probably getting them 8, 9 wins, maybe if he has a good line and he's able to, you know, Brees Hall plays exceptionally well. But let's be realistic, we don't know.
Yeah.
Three games won last year. I would bet it on getting me a good old line, you know, just so when I have my franchise quarterback, I have something on there. So me personally, because you know, especially Brees Hall want to have a good year, I would switch those two. But besides that, I think you've pretty much been on point.
Yeah, and the injury risk is a concern as well. So we'll see. But, that's where we're going to go here with the Jets. Jordan Tyson. We'll see on him. He's talented as hell, but he just got to prove he can stay healthy. Let's go to the Detroit Lions, pick number 17. The Lions, we're going to talk about the Lions here for a second because the Lions have had some interesting offseason as far as the offensive line goes. Um, Left tackle Dan Skipper announces retirement. Starting center Graham Glasgow announces his retirement. Left tackle Taylor Decker was considering retirement, then decided to come back. So he joined, he comes back, he starts talking to the Lions, and this is what he said. He decided to come back for one more season, and he says, quote, "In the week since notifying the team of my return, there have been numerous discussions, many of which were a surprise to me. We could not find common ground, therefore I decided to request my release. I'm surprised the Lions are playing hardball with a guy who's been there his entire career, who's been a solid left tackle. Now he's going to be gone. That opens up a hole and a need for the Lions now at pick 17. That's where I'm going. The big left tackle out of Alabama, 6'7", 350, Caden Proctor. Um, what do you think they did? They also brought in right tackle Larry Borum, center Cade Mays. What do you think of a team playing hardball with a veteran left tackle like that and then creating a need? Do you think that's smart?
Yeah, I mean, if you got to understand the business side of the operation, if you leave the game then trying to come back, obviously you feel like you might not really be into it. So you're coming back and you're asking to come back. So it's kind of like, all right, you can come back, but you're gonna take whatever we give you now. It's
Yeah.
just common sense. It's like if you're dating a girl and she's been just this way, and then you try to come back, you dump her for some other girl, you're gonna have to take what you get because you come back. Like, look, I got me 3 other boyfriends now. I ain't letting them go for you, but I want you. What's gonna happen? Why are you like this now? You should never go. And then we don't know how good the backup is. If they're comfortable in the backup that played the year before, they might be like, "Hey, the backup wasn't good. We wanted to see him play anyway. We were kind of scheduling you not to be there anyway, so we
Yeah.
don't really care. It's not really hardball when you make the. It's like if I leave a team, and I'm expecting I'm just gonna come back, and they're like, "Nah, we're like." You don't understand that you just left, so you kind of left us stranded. Now you want to come back and expect to get the same money. You think we're going to just give you more? That's not how the NFL works. It's just common sense.
Yeah, and there's been rumors about Taylor Decker to the Bears. You know, reunite with Ben Johnson and solidify the Bears left tackle for a year or two. So we'll see what happens there. I love it when teams go to division rivals. I love it when players switch within the division. Coaches do it. It just breeds more animosity, and I love that in
Yeah,
a division
people don't
rivalry.
care no more, man. People trying to get their checks, man. They like, I ain't giving them about all that.
Yeah, yeah. Um, Vikings at pick 18. Safety is the big need because Harrison Smith is probably retiring. So they're going from one white safety to another one, from Harrison Smith to Dylan Thieneman out of Oregon. And, it's just that's the Vikings way, right? They're safeties, and they're just going to replace him right there. What do you think of that?
Yeah, old boy just retired, correct?
I don't know if he's announced it, but he's trending that way for sure.
Well, I mean, they gave him a standing ovation when he walked off the field and everything. So I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, like, if you're gonna retire, retire. Don't just keep like I don't like that's why I said the game. He might come back for a year just to help the safety. Are you saying they're gonna draft out? You never know. But I'm like, I don't know. I think he's pretty much done. Like I ain't trying to trip, but white guys and black guys are different. We try to come back. White guys, they retire, they be happy. I'm good. I'm out of the league. White guys like, man, like I'm done. Like shoot, especially playing that safety position. Safety position ain't something you just want to run back into like with the helmet back on after 13, 14 years to get playing safety. Yeah, think I'm done, bro. I'm chill on the couch there, bro.
And the Vikings are in an interesting situation. They were so high on J.J. McCarthy last season going into the year. Now, not so much. And they're bringing in Kyler Murray and going to have a quarterback competition. I think all signs are
It's not
pointing to
a
Kyler Murray being the
yeah,
starter.
it's not a competition.
Yeah.
It's a verbal competition. It's for paper competition. But we know that JJ McCarthy is probably never going to be the starting quarterback ever again. And Kyler Murray probably isn't going to be a starting quarterback for forever. Because
Yeah.
if he plays well this year, they're gonna have to cut him a check, and I can't see somebody cutting him a check like that anymore. I can't see
Yeah.
somebody saying that with this 5'4" quarterback, I'm gonna give him another 200 million. I can't see it happening. I think maybe 2, 3 years from now, because what he's 27, 28, he's still young, right?
Yeah.
He's still like 27, 28. He's still got, yeah, Kyler, he's still got time to go play baseball. Like we said earlier, he can cut a little thing. I'm going to play baseball for a little while. You know what I mean? So he still got time. Being a 30-year-old, going on the baseball field, playing another 20 years in baseball, 50 years old out there. Hey, you good.
Do you think so? The Vikings fired GM Kwesi Adolfo Mensa. Do you think that all points back to their regret letting Sam Darnold walk?
100%, hundred
Yeah,
percent. There are
crazy.
speculations on other things that was going on in there, but just like I know, man, is you make a big mistake like that, like, and the funny thing about those situations is when you give those kind of guys all that power and it works, it's beautiful. But when it
Yep,
doesn't work, it's like,
it's a
man,
train wreck.
because I don't even understand like the GM Fontenot for the Falcons. Now, the last few years, he has been picking some great picks, but
Hmm.
he messed up with, I don't know if it was the Penix or the trade for Kirk, but that one little situation, man, out the door that quick. Because you know what it is? Owners are owners. That's like if you can do everything right for me, right? And I tell you, like, even if you clean my car, you clean my car perfect every time. You clean it perfect every time. That one time that I got to go to this party and you forget to wipe the windshield, you forget to do this, and I get embarrassed by somebody else, and
Yeah,
everybody knew except you,
yep,
man, kick rocks. And then you do it 2 years in a row, kick rocks.
yeah. Yeah, so interesting spot for the Vikings to be in. That NFC North is just getting better and tougher. So the Vikings better figure it out as soon as possible. Um, Carolina Panthers at pick 19. And I'm going the best tight end in the draft, Kenyon Sadiq out of Oregon. They don't really have good tight ends. They got Tommy Tremble and Jatavian Sanders. This is a big upgrade for them. And we started to see the ascension of Bryce Young last year. Towards the end of the year, they won the division, they home playoff game, and so let's get him another pass catcher. You know how tight ends can be that safety blanket for a quarterback, that check down. When you get in trouble, you're looking for him. I think this would be a great addition for Bryce Young in Carolina.
I think a tight end would be perfect here. I'm not well informed on who the guy is, but everything you said sounds good to me, bro. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you, make it sound fly to you. But yeah, let's see. Let's see. It can't hurt. Like, and they really weren't that good. They just played good against us. Like, you take the 2 wins that they got against us, we should have beat them guys. They beat us about 31 times. They came in here, they were losing by like 25, came back and won the game in the fourth quarter, man. It was just like that.
Yeah, I'll say this about Kenyon Sadiq. There's a little bit of a Kyle Pitts and the fact that he's so athletic and so talented, yet the production hasn't really been there. They really expected him to go crazy last year for Oregon, and the numbers weren't really there. So, we'll see on that with him, but he's got a high ceiling, a lot of potential.
Yeah, no
Um,
question.
let's go Cowboys at pick 20 here. They went corner. You talked about wanting to get an edge, a pass rusher, and that's what I'm doing here at pick 20. I'm giving the Cowboys Keldrick Falk. Now, the only thing about Keldrick Falk is that he's a little bit more of a run-stopping defensive end than a pass rusher. He only has 10 sacks in 3 seasons in college. But the Cowboys, Jerry Jones and Dallas keeps talking about wanting to stop the run. They put all these, Quinnen Williams, Kenny Clark, now Keldrick Falk really focusing on stopping the run. What do you think about that?
I just don't like this pick at all. Like, I don't think
Yeah.
this. Okay, put it to me like this. And this sounds bad when I say certain things, but I've been playing football for so long. When the last time ever? This is a long question. When the last time ever you seen a great Auburn defensive end tackle lineman? Period. You got Sakio Spikes, you got Carlos Dansby, those linebackers. You got Cam Newton. Give me any other position that they've been great at.
So the only thing that I could say, what D Ford and who is that defensive tackle? Fairley.
Okay, give like who you like. Thank you. That's all I can say is thank you because like
But
you like
but even
yeah like
them,
Auburn.
yeah,
Auburn isn't a team that you like. Oh my God, he came out of Auburn. Oh my God, like when I saw
yeah.
Auburn, like okay, 6'6", 275 pass rusher. So nah, he's definitely not a pass rusher. Bad pick, bro.
Yeah.
Bad pick. I don't like that
Well,
one.
well,
I'm
so
not saying Dallas won't do it. I'm just saying I don't like that there.
no, that's exactly right. That's a good take on you because everyone is saying that the Cowboys keep saying they're taking Keldrick Folk, and the fans can't stand it. The Cowboys fans are like, no, we don't want this guy, but all signs are pointing to the Cowboys taking him. So, but yeah, I mean, I would rather have someone who's going to get to the quarterback, but they seem very intent on wanting to stop the run in Dallas. Maybe it was Saquon Barkley and all that, but let's go Pittsburgh Steelers here at pick 21. They could definitely, and the big thing here, I was going wide receiver for the longest time, but then they trade for Michael Pittman from the Colts. And I think that's a great addition. You put him opposite DK Metcalf. Now you've got a 1-2 punch at wide receiver. I don't really know where else to go. Aaron Rodgers is old. I'm going quarterback Ty Simpson out of Alabama here, looking towards the future. Steeler fans might not like it. What do you think?
Who's the other quarterback? There's another quarterback that I like too. I'm sorry, I'm forgetting what we had on the schedule, but it was another quarterback that I liked a little better than him.
So quarterbacks, this is what we got right here.
Oh yeah, you're right. Sheesh. I was thinking the LSU quarterback.
Yeah.
I guess Ty Wood probably the best option. I'm thinking about. I don't know what Pittsburgh is going to be. You think McCarthy would like Ty Simpson?
Hard to say.
Yeah,
This seems like a ownership GM type of pick. He did say he really likes Will Howard, who they drafted last year out of Ohio State. So hard to say. Steelers are in a very interesting spot right now with a brand new head coach and an old Aaron Rodgers. You really don't know what direction they're going here.
Yeah. I just, that's all you have. It's kind of messed up that you have to be forced to take people sometimes. But yeah, I can see it. I can see it now. I got confused about it. I was thinking of another quarterback, man. My bad.
Well, and that's the thing is if you wait one more year, next year's quarterback class is supposed to be loaded.
Right. That's what I'm saying. You got so many guys that stay the extra year. You got Manning. You got what's up boy from Ole Miss. You got so many guys.
Chambliss.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know.
But I don't think Pittsburgh is going to try to tank because all them guys might be pretty high. I definitely don't think they're going to try to tank. So that's the kind of. Do you wait next year or do you take a guy this year and like not say waste a pick, but you can grab another corner or you can grab somebody that old boy's getting kind of up there in age. They just signed him to a new deal though. Hayward. They just signed him to a new deal, but like Hayward would. Okay, old boy that's 6'6", 275, he would be a good defensive end in that kind of Pittsburgh. If Pittsburgh's try to keep the same 3-4 type defense, he'll be a good fit. He could have got it because when I see 6'6", 275, I can see you putting on 20, 30 more pounds and playing like a end in a 3-4 type defense and being pretty good. Like you said, he only had like 10 sacks in 3 seasons. But he'll be perfect in Pittsburgh. He's been a tough run stopping defensive end. They're the kind of guy that would look great in a Steelers outfit, actually.
Yeah, that's a good point. Good take there. So, I was going wide receiver forever until they traded for Antonio Pittman. And look at it, I got to go down here. I got to reach for Ty Simpson. I don't think he's going here. I think he goes early second round. But the Steelers are kind of stuck here.
And it could be a guard, though. It could be a guard. It could be a new tackle. So they have a lot of stuff in Pittsburgh they need also because Aaron Rodgers getting his butt kicked a little bit last year. He got sacked a lot. So, you never know. And
it's funny you say that because a lot of mocks are saying guard to the Steelers. But I didn't want to because I want Vega Ione to fall to the Chargers. Imagine you get Joe All and Rashawn Slater back, and then you plug in Vega Ione. That offensive line is going to be cooking in LA. I don't think Vega is going to be available here. I think he goes before this. Maybe the Ravens, maybe the Steelers. But this would be a home run pick for the Chargers. This would be such a Jim Harbaugh pick if he was available here. you would really open up that run game with Omarion Hampton and Justin Herbert. We saw how much Justin Herbert got beat up last year, but you're getting those tackles back, and then if you plug in a guy like Vega, that offensive line would be crazy.
Right.
They also signed Tyler Biadasz in free agency, fullback Alec Ingold, bringing back Khalil Mack. I think the Chargers are going to be very good in 2026 if healthy.
Yeah, they'll be decent. Khalil Mack probably he needs 20, I think 20 sacks to pass me. I'm 13, so he need like 20 sacks.
Wow.
He going in the year 12 or 13 now, so that'll be that he might just have another great year. I don't know.
Real quick, I forgot to mention this. Back when we were talking Commanders, did you know that Bobby Wagner, he intends to play in 2026? He only needs 60 tackles to break the all-time record.
Yeah, that's amazing, right?
That's insane. Eagles, I'm going. They need offensive line. They need a right tackle. Lane Johnson, considering retirement. Landon Dickerson, their left guard as well. So Lane Johnson's got like 1 year left. So they're going right tackle Spencer Fano, which is best case scenario for the Eagles that he falls here. This is a great value pick. Um, and But also, the Eagles might need wide receiver because there's a lot of smoke about A.J. Brown getting traded. A lot of people expect him to go to the Patriots. He's supposed to get traded after June 1st. So if you take A.J. Brown out of that receiver core, there's not much there. They did just sign Hollywood Brown to go with Devontae Smith, but besides that, they don't really have anybody. So wide receiver needs to be on their mind. Cleveland Browns, let's look at them real quick. They took or no, so let's go ahead and make this pick for the Eagles. They went Spencer Fano. For the Browns, they took Monroe Freeling at 6. In my opinion, they need wide receiver. I'm giving them Denzel Boston out of Washington. Number 1 wide receiver. He'll take over, Jerry Jeudy. He'll be the number 1 going forward. So I think that's a good addition for them. We'll see what happens to the quarterback position, but I got Denzel Boston to the Browns here. Let's go Bears. My Bears, I got them taking defensive tackle Caden McDonald, who's a run stopper. The Bears struggled against the run. Now, the Bears could go multiple directions here at defensive tackle. They could go Caleb Banks out of Florida, who I really like. They could go Lee Hunter. I also really like Kristen Miller out of Georgia. I would very much consider him here.
I would. I would get him just because of Georgia. Georgia has created so many good D linemen in the last years. Whatever they got going on there, I would just take him on a whim and be like, "Hey, we taking you."
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a big fan. I also really like Caleb Banks, but I believe Ryan Poles and the Bears are all over this guy. I think it's going Caden McDonald here. Buffalo linebacker C.J. Allen, and I love this pick. I'm a big fan. This guy reminds me a lot of Roquan Smith coming out. And the Bills need a linebacker, and this would be a huge boost to their defense. So I'm going C.J. Allen there. San Francisco, Trent Williams. They might not be able to come to an agreement on a contract with him. He's getting old. I'm going left tackle Caleb Lomu, their left tackle of the future. 49ers fans should be happy with that. Seems like a Niners pick. Houston Texans at pick 28, and I love this. I know you like the Texans defense. You like Danielle Hunter, Will Anderson Jr., add Caleb Banks, defensive tackle out of Florida, to that D-line. That is nasty. That defense is already the best defense in football last year. You add Caleb Banks, that is scary.
Yeah, he's a big guy that can move.
Yeah. So look out, AFC South. That's a nightmare right there. This is the Chiefs' second pick. They took Ruben Bain. They need a corner. I'm going do I go I think I went Avion Terrell here. Yeah, Avion Terrell, AJ Terrell's little bro. To the Chiefs.
If he's around in the later rounds, I hope that the Falcons get him, but that would be a beautiful situation.
Yeah.
if he's there in the second round, I would love for them to get him though. I think that'd be a perfect fit because they would play so well together. I believe
What do you think? So he's got 8 forced fumbles since 2024. How does a corner do that? Is he just that's incredible, right?
he's around the ball or he's getting thrown at a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He ain't scared to tackle.
Yeah, exactly. I love that from a corner. Dolphins, their second pick, Mansour Delane. They're going. Let's see, who did I take here for the Dolphins? I went wide receiver Casey Concepcion, an absolute speedster, 5'11", 190. They lost Jalen Waddle. They traded him to the Broncos, and so they get him. They keep the speed going. They got Malik Willis, Devon Achane, now Casey Concepcion. The one thing they do have is speed. All right, pick. So the Denver Broncos. What do you think of the Broncos trading for Jalen Waddle? Does that make them that much better?
It won't hurt. I think
Yeah.
it's not, I think it is not something that's going to hurt them, and especially when they get the quarterback back, everybody's healthy, and
Yeah.
we kind of know if it wasn't snowing, if it was, they should have been they hurt quarterback, and I think even if it wasn't snowing, they probably still could have like maybe slid that game and won that game against the Patriots, but you got your quarterback Nicks back. You get Nicks back, and you want him to be able to have somebody to throw the ball to that can literally play the game like he want to play it. Yeah,
Yeah.
they might be the team next year, man. Because if the Patriots were the best last year, I don't know what the AFC going to bring, but Texas going to be coming too. So, but yeah. But that's why I said the difference between a quarterback and regular players. Quarterbacks, they give them stuff to work with. You know, here, man, give you some, but
Yeah, exactly. That's what you should do. Surround them with talent. And I like the Broncos didn't do anything in free agency. They didn't sign anybody. All they did was re-sign their guys. And this is the first move they've done to bring someone in, and it's Jalen Waddle, which they spent a lot to do it, but I think it's a good move.
Yeah, well, like this draft for some people is a great draft, and for other people is like a so-so. Like I'm looking at the draft, I'm like the first five are like the you want to say are the home run hitters. Maybe the
Yeah.
five to seven are going to 10, but then
Yep.
everybody else kind of like I don't even want. Why are we going to like grab something out here that we know we can get a proven guy in Waddle that So just take my pick, man. We'll go get there. We good.
Yeah. Yep. Patriots, I'm giving them a pass rusher. I'm giving them Clemson edge TJ Parker to the Patriots here. 6'4", 265. I think he's a good fit. Um, you put him opposite Harold Landry. Um, yeah. So, and then we'll see if they trade for AJ Brown. And in my opinion, they need to make a splash move like that. And then lastly, the Seattle Seahawks at pick 32, going South Carolina corner Brandon Cisse. They lost Reek Woolen. They lost Kobe Bryant. So you bring in Brandon Cisse, who played with Nicky Manwari at South Carolina. So now they're teammates again. I think this is a great pick for the Seahawks.
Yeah, it's definitely a great pick. It makes sense. Fills a spot, and they don't really have a lot to take because their team was so good. They signed a receiver back. I can't think of his name right now, but so I think they should be good on defense as long as they got their my main guys in there. They should be all right.
Yeah, they brought back Rashid Shaheed. They did lose Kenneth Walker to the Chiefs, which is a big get for the Chiefs, but they signed Emmanuel Wilson from Green Bay. So,
Right.
and then lastly, your Falcons didn't pick in the first round, so I'm taking a look at them in the second round. I got them going wide receiver. You got Drake London, and you signed Jahan Dotson and Zacchaeus, but you need a number two, right?
Right.
So take your pick. You got Chris Brazell, Jeremy Bernard, Zachariah Branch out of Georgia, who's a speedster, Malachi Field. So there's a lot of different directions Atlanta could go there.
Yeah, grab somebody that's close to home. Grab Branch, bring him in there. You know what I mean? Close to home.
Yeah.
If he ain't hitting on nothing, he don't got far to go to get back home.
Yep. So, well, good stuff, man. It was a lot of fun, right? I love doing these mocks, and the closer we get to the draft, I'm going to be doing more and more of these. But I'm glad you were able to join and have some fun with me on this one.
No question. Appreciate it, brother.
Yeah, absolutely. So, where are you at, Brandon? Ceesay, let's finish this out. There we go. So that's the first round. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment. Have a great week. Thanks, John Abraham, as always. And have a great week, guys. Peace out.